What'd you say?
Mike Tyson. Do you want to know a fun fact
Mike
about
Tyson?
Mike Tyson?
Okay, let's go Mike Tyson. Tyson's
And Mike
kicking.
Tyson, if you were to get hit in the face by Mike Tyson in his absolute prime in boxing, his punch was basically the equivalent of a 221-pound anvil hitting you in the face from 5 feet away.
Jesus Christ. Just
Like-
hearing that, no.
Like to put it simply, the average person, right? Like somebody who's not a professional boxer, they can probably punch with around like 150 pounds per square inch, like calculating in the strength and speed going into that punch. A professional boxer gets around like 800, right? Somewhere in that ballpark, which is pretty fucking ridiculous. Mike Tyson was 1800.
Damn. That is like being hit by a freaking bus.
That is actually like being in a car crash, but it's
Yeah.
a man hitting you in the mouth.
See, now is this before or after he went to prison?
Or like, do you mean? I mean like.
Like, what was his
Mike
what his
Tyson's,
prime?
like, absolute strongest prime.
Mike
Like
Tyson.
when he was like in his 20s and 30s boxing, and he was just fucking people up with his big meaty ham hands that are bigger than.
God.
Like, he's got hands like 0.5 times bigger than Tristan's.
Dude, he has a his career was 50-6 with 44 knockouts.
Yeah, most
Meaning-
of which were like in the first few rounds.
What in the hell? Meaning you like that is nuts to have only like 6 people not be knocked out by you when you win against them. Those 6 people had to be people like George Foreman because there's like there's just no way.
We're like Butterbean. We're like
Yeah,
they just don't.
they can just
fucking go
take
down.
it.
Like
Now I want to
Jesus
know.
Christ,
Okay, his
dude.
prime weight, he was 217 pounds with a 71-inch reach.
Which, Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's built a little bit different.
He was
He, like, has more
5'10".
than. Yeah.
He, not to be
He's
mean,
built like an
them
actual
gorilla
ape.
arms, like that's.
Right, he's built like an actual fucking
He's
gorilla.
built like a literal gorilla. If you're 5'10",
Like,
you have a
he's got the hands
71-inch
for it and
reach.
Everything, I swear to God. Like, nothing against Mike Tyson. That
Oh,
dude's
no.
a living legend.
Yeah,
The amount,
honestly,
the sheer amount of cocaine that man has ingested in his life.
that's true
I
too.
don't know if that's what makes him legendary, but hey, to each his own.
It's one of the things that makes him legendary.
Well, like,
the sheer
here-
fact that he has probably, like, done, like, $1 million in cocaine in one sitting.
Oh, easily.
Just because his celebrity friends kept giving them to him.
Well, like here, think about it this way, right? No, think about it. But like to bring in sort of a comparison, George Foreman, who was born in the born in 1949. He was 6'4". He was 218 pounds. He only weighed 1 pound more than Tyson. Had a reach of 78 inches, but that's because he was 6'4". And his
Right.
record was 76-5 with 68 KOs. So, this man walked up, decked you, and you died. Like that's just kind of what happened.
And then he made a
Mike
grill.
Tyson was
Yes,
like
and then he
my
did
height,
make a grill.
like a little bit taller than me.
Yeah, like
by
2
a
or
couple
3 inches. Yeah.
Just by a couple inches, and he's that much of a fucking monster.
Absolute
of a man.
monster.
Like,
Complete
I would
unit.
I think if Mike Tyson now were in front of me, like I would still be intimidating.
Oh, of
intimidated.
course.
Like that dude's in his well into his 60s, 70s, and like, I mean, with his past, like, I mean, who knows what state his actual like headspace is in, but like,
Oh, it's in the clouds a little bit.
just insane.
Man.
And he's like super humble. He's actually a really
Well,
humble
you know-
dude when it comes to his prowess and strength. Like he never once believed that he was the best in the world.
Yeah, well, because
He
you
still,
get to a
still
point.
credits that to Muhammad Ali. He's
And
still.
it's funny
like,
because
Muhammad Ali was still a better dude than me.
you know it's funny because when you look at Muhammad Ali's like his record, he won more fights than Tyson did, and he lost one less than Tyson did. But
which that just statistically proves it.
yeah.
But
the
it's
difference
really
is
cool,
the amount. The only difference that really is there with the record, sort of, is the amount of knockouts. Muhammad Ali didn't have anywhere near as many as
well,
Because Muhammad Ali was just nowhere near as
he
strong.
was not a powerhouse.
No, he wasn't.
At all.
He
was
worked you.
very fast.
He worked you
built
until you
himself
just
Worked
keeled
to the
over.
bone, but he was
He built himself for speed, and that
Correct.
shit, like basically like Bruce Lee.
speed.
did.
It's literally a speed
Bruce
kill.
Lee,
Like
well,
speed
yeah,
kills.
He's getting hit with a speed
power,
bag.
the
like,
power in punching and shit, and the physics of that comes from speed. From
Well,
how
it comes
fast
from the-
your fist is moving.
Yeah, well, it comes from the torque of your body. So the way you turn your body, the amount of effort you can put in, that usually it depends on how tall you are, right? So
Right.
that's why Mike
that
Tyson's like
usually
stuff is
how
impressive.
fast you can move your body. Mike Tyson was just an absolute powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was just,
Yeah, he was.
I mean, Jesus Christ, 1,800 pounds per square inch in your fucking fist.
Yeah, and
That is like a hydraulic press for like
And
an
then,
alligator mouth.
I mean, yeah, and then you imagine getting hit by George Foreman. It was worse. He only weighed 1 pound more, but since he could rotate more, he could put more oomph into that punch. I think that's one of the people Tyson lost to. I can't remember if he did or not. I don't think I could be totally
I
wrong.
don't even know. I don't even think those two faced off. I could
wanna
be
see.
entirely wrong. Bro.
Uh,
Now, him and Ali more plausible, but
yeah, they
doubt
did, I
they're
believe. Yeah.
I
Yep.
know nothing about boxing. I just enjoy the fighting. It looks cool, and I would be good at it.
Mm-hmm. They did
I
have
would be
one, I
really
think.
good.
Let me check.
Well, look it up, homie.
I am.
I'm too busy playing Happy Wheels.
Foreman admits openly that a match between him and Tyson never occurred because he didn't want any parts of him.
That doesn't surprise me.
Neither, yeah, I know, same, but it's just like, yeah. But it does help that Tyson would have been a lot faster than him. And,
It does say, I mean, Google's giving mixed results.
yeah, but I don't believe they ever did
Because-
fight.
I don't think George Foreman was ever tested like Mike Tyson was, probably.
Tested for what?
Like, tested to see how strong
Oh, no, he
per square
definitely,
inch his punch was.
he,
And what's the number?
well, he definitely is considered the hardest hitter. Let me see here.
Yes, but I mean, he wasn't physically tested like Mike Tyson was to get the actual number.
What would that be considered? No, let's see. Punch strength, I guess.
Well,
Punch
just
power?
how many pounds per square inch were behind his fucking
Power
fist?
level.
Let's see.
I'm
here.
at homie's Bauer level.
Oh, welcome to the podcast, by the way, if you haven't already.
Yeah, welcome back
it's
to
a
the
thing.
Slackin' Off podcast. We're over
We usually
here.
segue our fucking intros like 10 minutes in or some shit now.
Yeah, we're we're doing this
they-
great.
We just start talking and then we say the intro when we remember.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm gonna,
We're gonna go into one time and it's gonna be like 50 minutes in and we're gonna be like, oh hey, by the way, welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, by the way, welcome. For
James.
Yeah.
if you go on Epic Games, Lawn Mowing Simulator is free right now.
Did you say lawnmower simulator?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I watched Smitty play. It's like Power Wash Simulator. Seems pretty lit.
So have you guys heard of anything interesting in the past week?
Oh my goodness.
Our life
George
has been interesting the
Foreman
past week.
could bench 450 pounds. Just easily.
I'm pretty sure Tyson can like double that.
There's no way he's doing 900 pounds. One. But two,
Might as well.
you also got to remember, that's a lot of extra weight when you've got like lanky ass arms. Because, you know, he was 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
Gravity tends to work against you when you're that tall. He lifted a
So-
cow? Excuse me?
What?
Did George Foreman lift a cow? Am I?
Pretty pretty cool.
Now here's the real question. Does George Foreman and Mike Tyson compare to like strongmen from like 300 years ago? Like the dudes who were lifting like 11 people and a piano on their back.
Well, I mean,
Those guys.
I guess
Pretty
probably.
solid question. I'll be honest. It's pretty solid.
How do they compare it to those guys? Like the
Travis-
dudes who inspired Paul Bunyan. Like
What was the number you gave for Mike Tyson's punching power?
1850 or something like that.
1800 psi.
Oh my goodness. This one is recorded in units. I don't know if it's, I think it's the same. But an MMA fighter by the name of Francis Nagano had a punching power of 129,161 units.
I think I just saw that, and I don't know how much that is units. Here. Units to PSI. What does that mean? 1 PSI is approximately equal to 6,895. What? What is that? PA. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, you got
What is
me,
this?
bro.
Yeah, what the fuck does that even mean? That is not even that can't be like even comparable. That has to be a different measurement because like that's
Maybe.
that's like almost 10 times the amount of Mike Tyson's.
If a punch thrown by Rocky IV villain Ivan Drago is supposed to measure at 2,000 psi, he'd be exerting a force of 8,600 pounds or more than 4 tons. No boxer in real life comes anywhere near that. I wonder...
That's more than the bite force of a fucking hippo.
Yeah.
And a hippo can literally chop you in half. If you didn't know.
See, it wasn't like... It wasn't... It wasn't like tested because they didn't have the equipment at the time to test that kind of hit. But a lot of other boxers who went up against Foreman in the ring said he's got the hardest punch that they've ever seen. And they all attribute it really to his, one, how obviously fit he was, but the fact he would throw a punch and he'd rail you from, he'd go full, the arm extended, full extension behind you as he bombed you and he spun around. It just...
Why the fuck did the Baki Hanma show ever include Mike Tyson? It should have included George Foreman.
Did it have Mike Tyson in it?
It's Mike Tyson.
It had Mike Tyson.
What?
Yeah.
I never got to that episode then. Hold on.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was in Baki.
No.
I think it was Baki Hanma.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah.
Wait. Iron Michael. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I recognized his face once I looked it up.
Yeah.
Baki just shows
it's
up this
supposed to be
scrawny ass little
Mike
dude.
Tyson.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
They should have done George Foreman.
They really should have.
Or
obviously,
at least introduce George Foreman as an even bigger guy.
Well, but
to Iron Mike.
But the problem being is like Baki was in jail at that point. I still don't understand how he got into jail.
Oh, I don't understand either, or why Mike Tyson was like running the prison.
Well, because Mike Tyson went to jail. That's why they did it. Like, Mike Tyson was in jail for a while.
That was supposed to be during Mike Tyson in jail.
Yeah.
He's like wearing like Hawaiian t-shirts and shit.
Oh,
like,
that's
he's
not
not
Mike-
dressed up at all, and he's like owning the police officers.
That one's not
The
Mike
warden?
Tyson. That's a different character. His name is Biscuit.
Oh, that's a different character?
Oliva or whatever. Yeah, his name is Biscuit. Who you're thinking of. But Mike Tyson is in Baki, though. You were right with him being there.
I thought he was the main black guy that was like beating the shit out of Baki.
Yeah. No, the main black guy beating the crap, his name is Biscuit.
What the fuck?
What?
Dude, the Baki writers were on fucking crack when
It's a
when
great
wrote
show,
that
though. But it's a great
it's
show.
amazing. I will say, like,
I
if you
love
haven't
it.
watched that, it is very graphic and
Oh, yeah.
does not make a lick of fucking sense.
No.
Nothing makes sense in that show, but it's all great.
It's
all amazing.
You'll understand the show more if you realize that Baki, he wins through sheer force of will and not that he's just overwhelmingly strong. right?
I was gonna say, yeah, like he actually he completely bullshits his way out
Yeah.
of situations.
Because like the
But
Travis,
like even some of the other guys, even that dude that like, what did he do? He like took some guy's hair, like he plucked off this guy's hair, stuck it into his ear, like twisted it, stuck it into his ear, wrapped it around his fucking eardrum, and then
yeah,
pulled it,
yeah,
and then, like
it sliced his
and how
ear.
the
It sliced his
fuck-
eardrum.
how the No, what it did was
What?
it sliced the area in your ear where all of your balance crystals are, and it caused this guy to have straight vertigo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was in the ring,
Which
right?
is
like
fucking
the
That don't add
bullshit.
up.
That's
bro,
bullshit
they were
that's even
doing
feasible.
this old man, 190-year-old man, like
and-
got off of
And
his
the old
wheelchair
man
and was
got
like,
his face got cut off.
yeah, his face got clean cut off by Baki's dad, right?
Or it was something. It was like something like that. He just had his face like smacked off. It wasn't even like cut off.
It was just.
It was literally from like a martial arts punch, like to his
Yeah.
face. It like took his face off, like the Joker.
And like that's one of the things I remembered, right? Is freaking Baki. If you're watching the so there's 2 on Netflix. Both of them are pretty good, but you gotta
There's
watch
Baki and Baki Hanma.
watch Baki first. That's how you kind of understand sort of where he's coming from, and then Baki Hanma is like next. So it's like that's like your sequel stuff.
What I like about Baki is that it takes real world concepts in martial arts.
It just blows it up
takes
to
real
1000%.
It takes real martial arts techniques and like real concepts, and it absolutely cranks them to like 99 out of 10
Yeah, it's
for no
just
reason.
stupid.
It's so absurd. So like it's almost grounded in reality, but at the same exact time, everyone is a superhuman, and it's so good. It was very fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was a
it
very
is.
fun watch.
I loved that. I loved Baki. God, I wish I want to finish off the last of the episodes I have.
I think I finished it with my brother. Like he started watching it, and I just was
Finished
like, "What
it?
in the fuck is that?" Yeah, I was like, "What is this?" I'm watching it.
I just want
I didn't start it from where he started it. I started it like in the middle, and
oh my
it
god.
just kind of got filled in.
I'm so dumb.
Yeah, just about.
Well, okay, I'm gonna bring it back to Baki, but I just want to say one thing. I forgot to edit and upload the 36th podcast. This is number 37.
Oh.
I uploaded that Ace Ventura. What the fuck? Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney. I uploaded the Ace Attorney video, and then we got caught up with some heavy lifting on the weekend. So I just forgot about we did the podcast. So you got your content.
I thought you'd never ask.
But yeah, Mike Tyson is in the beginning of Baki Hanma where he's like spirit training.
Oh.
And he creates like a shadow clone of, or shadow version of Mike Tyson and hits him. He goes, "I could never beat Iron Mike," and he goes, "But I need to train." So he creates like a version of him that he can't beat, and he just goes around. And he has to hit him 10 times, and that's his training. And somehow,
That's what I mean by Baki takes real world concepts and it just makes it so absurd.
and then somehow, freaking this little kid he helped can see the spirit visualization of Iron Mike absolutely pummeling Baki in the face. Somehow both of them can see him, and then like later on in the series, freaking Baki fights a
Because it's
freaking
relevant to
praying
the plot.
mantis.
I remember that part. I remember the praying mantis part.
Yeah,
That part was fucking weird.
All he did was
That
open the
part made
lid, and
no
it just
sense.
he opened the lid to the freaking cage, and it just sort of grew out of the cage and started attacking him. And he's like, "I gotta be able to maneuver around this praying mantis and
I guess
take it
because
out."
like the praying mantis is supposed to be like menacing.
I've got no clue,
Which,
man.
to be fair, if praying mantises were any bigger than they are, I would legitimately be terrified of them.
No, true. That,
If they were
that
like the
makes a lot
size of a
sense.
small dog, I think they would scare me.
I'd shoot it. There's no questions
Right.
asked.
I think they would legitimately scare me because with the way that they work, if you just found like a praying mantis head that was like the size of your dog's head, like that would be some pretty scary shit to just find. Because that's the way that they mate.
Yeah. Also, we should
Sucks
probably
to suck to be, it sucks to suck to be a male praying mantis.
we should probably specify that spoiler alert for Bucky, for both of them, really. But
We're being a little vague with what we're talking about.
true. But you know, they did get, you know, Baki Hanma came out in 2021, and the other one came out the year or two before that, so it's still
True.
more recent than
It's on
normal.
Netflix. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Quit listening to us and go watch it.
If
like,
not,
what are you doing?
go read the manga. It's called Baki the
Hold up,
Grappler.
No. They can go watch it and then come back. You see.
Yeah, exactly.
No. They can finish this and go watch it.
We'll wait right here.
Well, what
you
if we
know,
talk about more?
You could just pause it.
Should have watched it earlier.
They could just pause it right here. You know, you guys can pause the episode. Go watch Baki. We'll wait.
Use that as your timestamp.
Okay, waiting time is over. We got at least 2 seconds of
I
silence.
haven't watched it.
What?
Baki Obama, huh? Obama.
Obama.
Oh my.
Soda.
We literally say that every single podcast so far.
I can't. I don't. I think.
How the fuck do we always manage to bring it back to Obama? We literally don't talk about it.
Travis?
We literally do
Try
not
to
talk
mention
about
it.
that
Just
or
goes
joke
on.
about it. We literally, I've been at their house over this past weekend helping them with shit, like at their house. We literally have not made an Obama soda joke since the last podcast, and now we just made another
It's
one.
only the podcast.
Yeah.
It
I
brings
don't
out the
know,
worst in
shut
us,
fuck.
where we get to say wigger.
What? Hey,
It's
hey.
we've
Wait,
established
wait,
in
wait,
lore.
wait, wait.
There's a man. Okay, there's a guy. He's he's a lawyer in South Carolina. It goes by the name of John Wigger, and it's spelled exactly
Oh, no,
what you
no,
think.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, look,
Right.
here he is.
Well, no, like I know what it means. It's,
Or is it
but,
like, hold on, Wigger and
bruh.
Son? It's a freaking construction company named Wigger and Son.
No, sir.
I think it's John Wigger Law Firm. Here we go. Found it. Oh, his name is Jerry Wigger. Never mind. Not John, but Jerry.
Jerry Wigger.
It just makes it so much better.
Jerry Wigger.
Yeah, look in podcast topics. It's the short dude in the middle. His name is Jerry Wigger.
Just roasting this man.
When you've got a last name as Wigger, you've just given us free ammunition to say to make it sound like a slur, but
Your
be
name's
okay.
a meme, dude.
I wonder if they're a good law
Because it
firm.
is a slur, James.
I wonder, you know.
Or-
Let's.
I wonder if
White
I
people
would.
that grew
I
up in
wonder
the hood like
what cases this man has been
He got
involved in.
he's got 4-star reviews. Hey,
Because that's what we're worried about.
he asked. Okay, let me reviews. Yeah, let's see what the review rating. Wigger Law Firm is the best firm I've ever worked for. He's got a
Sick.
4.3 star on Google reviews.
What a guy, I guess.
Hey, the staff is kind and professional. I'm glad.
Kinda.
You know what? I'm glad that this man's at a 4.3 star review. Now he can take his
So,
business to the
More
next
power
level.
the homie.
I want to talk about the thing I've.
Oh, we've got
discovered this
one
week.
review on Yelp that's 1 star.
I'd like to talk about the thing I discovered this week. Have you guys ever heard of a man named Nasubi?
Huh?
Booby?
No.
There was a Japanese man who was this happened in the late 90s. So this man, Tomoaki Hamatsu, better known as Nasubi, which means eggplant in Japanese. This dude
Please tell me it's 'cause he's
won.
like an actor
This guy won a lottery for a show business related job, right? He was a down on his luck comedian, making like nothing for himself. He won this lottery to be on this TV show where these producers shoved him in a room of an apartment, like a one-room apartment, told him to get naked in front of a camera, and he was supposed to win 1,000,000 yen total in items from sweepstakes in the mail. So, like, you know how you could file to win shit? He had to win 1,000,000 yen worth, about $10,000 at the time, of shit until he could leave.
That sounds like they just wanted to film him while he's in that room.
No, dude. Like,
now Edge.
They didn't give him anything. He had to win everything. From food to entertainment to, like, everything. It was fucking insane, the things that these producers did to this guy. Like, they deprived him of social interaction, which, if you don't know, can do a whole lot of bad to the human psyche.
Unless you're
like,
me.
Just for a few days. Total isolation can fuck you up. Like, this dude was basically totally isolated for more or less like a whole year.
Whoa. A whole year?
It took him 335 days to build up that $1 million, and he won shit like a bicycle, which he turned into a stationary bike. He won a 5-pound bag of rice.
Oh, man.
Which
what a steal.
Originally he had to eat raw because he did not have a way to cook it. He won a video game, a PlayStation game, which he did not have a PlayStation nor a TV to play it. He didn't win that until 8 months later. He won the TV 3 months later than that, but the TV didn't have any antenna, so it couldn't play anything except for static. So
nice.
This guy had a video game and a TV lying around for 5 to 8 months before he could even do anything with it. He had no toilet paper for 10 months. He only won toilet paper at the 10-month mark.
Oh.
He had to survive on dog food for a while at the 3-month mark. At the 3-month mark, he ran out of that initial bag of rice and had to eat dog food for 3 months.
Why is it this?
That's so fucked.
It feels like I'm listening to like the Chernobyl experience.
They actually tortured this man. They actually tortured this man for money.
Next thing you know, he signs an NDA.
You're not even gonna believe what I'm gonna say next. So after all of this, after he wins, right?
Goes back on.
They don't even initially tell him he's won. They sneak into his room like they're fucking gonna rob him, and they shine a flashlight in his face and pop like party poppers in his face, and say, "Guess what? You won. So to celebrate, we're gonna take you on an all-paid expense to Korea to take you to an amusement park and eat some food." And he's like, "Fuck yes, I haven't done anything fun, seen any real people besides the fucking mailman that drops his shit off every now and then from the stuff that he's won. And this guy's not sticking around for social interaction. He's just saying, here's your shit, goodbye." So this guy's had no real social interaction from anyone.
Don't tell me they left him in Korea.
Dude, after taking him to a fucking restaurant, a really nice restaurant, and an amusement park to go eat a bunch of food and have lots of fun, they're like, "All right, there's one more thing we've got to show you, and we got to blindfold you and put some headphones on you for it." And he's like, "Okay." So they bring him into a fucking 1-by-1 apartment and take off the blindfold and tell him to strip, because now he's on the news show, which is he has to basically make enough money to get a plane ticket from Korea to back to Japan.
Oh, come on.
God.
That is the bruh button moment.
This dude is like, and he does it too. Like, I don't know if you've ever, it's a psychological thing.
I would have like started smashing walls.
It's a psychological thing called learned helplessness, where basically, if you're subjected to long enough negative, like, stimuli, when given the option to not be subjected to it, you don't opt for it because you only know one way, and that's the way it's going to be.
God.
So this dude did it, right? And he did it in like record time. Like he did it way faster than the million yen mark because he was just getting a plane ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what they kept doing to this fucking guy. He hit
There's
that mark
more?
in 2 months. He hit the mark in 2 months, right? Just to get a flight back to Japan. Well, they were like, you know what? You did that too fast. We're gonna upgrade that ticket to business class. So now you have to get like an extra 9,000 yen. He smashes that, right? He gets like an expensive set of like tea leaves for like 14,000 yen. And he's like, fuck yeah, I smashed that easily. And they're like, oh, wait.
First
That
class.
was also too easy. We're booting it up to first class, which is like an extra 20,000 yen.
Oh my god.
Like, this poor guy can't catch a fucking break, right?
He's still doing
He
it to this day.
finally hits that mark. No, thank God. This guy's doing his own thing now. He finally hits that mark. And he gets that plane ticket from Korea back to Japan. And these producers, for one last time, they blindfold him and put headphones on him and are going to surprise him, right? They lead him into another 1-by-1 like apartment room that looks like what he's been in, but it's like on a stage, right? It's like meant to be like a fake out. So like the walls go away and then everyone's like, "Hooray, you did it." Well, he takes off the fucking blindfold and immediately starts taking his clothes off. Immediately strips down to nothing. Then the walls give away to reveal that he's in front of a live studio audience and they're all fucking laughing at him and congratulating him, but he's sitting there fucking naked and confused.
This poor man.
Man, that
Like,
was
this
a
guy-
whirlwind to listen to, dog.
Also,
This guy, I feel so fucking bad that this happened in real life.
right?
This legit sounds like the plot of a movie series.
I will say though that this guy survives COVID. If COVID ever became a thing, like this guy could stay inside for years. This guy doesn't need social interaction.
This feels like a
Like, this
Squid
dude-
Games challenge.
Like if this guy literally had to, he could actually just stay in his house for like ever. Which, I mean, technically we kind of did have to a couple years ago when it was being like mandated by our fucking government.
Was it really that long ago?
It was that long ago. It was like 2 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't feel like it at all.
No, it definitely feels like it was much closer than that.
I say it feels like it was like a few months ago. But yeah, that's the pretty interesting thing that I learned about this week.
He's still alive.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's still alive and he's doing his own thing. He actually,
I thought he was
think,
gonna
climbed
kill
Mount
himself
Everest in
after that.
2016. I think he climbed Mount Everest in 2016.
What a champ. Good for him.
Man looks
I didn't
healthy
die.
now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, are you looking him up?
Yeah.
There's some pretty funny photos of him because like he was a comedian, right?
Yeah.
And he thought he was going to get like this was his big break and he was doing it for the comedy and stuff, which is why he was kind of okay with being naked. And they censored out his dick for the most part.
With an
But
eggplant.
here's the fucked up part. Somewhere into this show, people found out where he was staying.
Oh.
So like reporters and paparazzi and stuff were like kind of crowding the area a little bit. So they moved him to a separate location, like 5 hours away. That looks pretty identical.
Mm-hmm.
And told him it was for his benefit, like so that he had better luck with the sweepstakes and stuff, which is total bullshit.
Of course.
But whatever. And when they made that switch, they instead of doing the weekly updates that they were doing, like they were just doing like short clips of like a weekly update of what he's been doing. It just how his week has been. They changed it from that to a live stream kind of setup.
Oh.
So they were live streaming him instead, and they just had a round the clock team that was solely focused on moving a joystick to put a purple circle around his nuts so that you couldn't see it.
Oh my god.
So it was being edited in like real time with the joystick. And this guy wasn't even aware of it. He was not even told
Of course
that
he
it was
wasn't.
being live streamed. So he was under the impression that it was going to be like the way it was before, where it was like just certain clips of his survival here.
I just
And
somehow they legally tortured a man. You know?
right, dude, they actually like psychologically and let's be real here, physically tortured this guy.
Like
Like
what
this
the
poor
hell?
fucking dude. They called him Eggplant because they used an eggplant to censor his dick and said
Yep.
that his face looked like an eggplant.
Wow, that's kind of rude.
Right, that is really rude.
And
He don't even look like an eggplant.
break, dog.
This guy needs a break.
I mean, he's got an oval shaped face, and that's it. Like his face is a little bit like long.
Yeah, but
But
he
that
don't look like an
doesn't-
eggplant.
That doesn't warrant an eggplant
He
comment.
don't.
That's
He
pretty
doesn't look
fucked.
like he's got
That's
downs.
pretty fucked. I will say though, this guy looks like one of the happiest men I've ever seen.
Well, when you go through trials and tribulations and you've had enough, you generally tend to
Dude,
appreciate
the
everything.
Japanese are just fucking crazy ass weird. Do you know about that one Japanese guy who is in a he did like a bunch of weird like art contributions in New York, like and like one of his art contributions was him clocking in to a time punch like that you know put in like your time at work every hour on the hour for a whole year. So he had like no sleep at
Nice.
all really for like an entire year because he would wake himself up every hour to go punch in a time card. I'll have to look up that guy's name.
He just.
You know, I'm good.
That wasn't even like the craziest thing he did.
That guy should be dead.
It's a very Travis-filled episode today.
I just felt, yeah, I'm just talking about shit. And you guys aren't.
He had things to talk about.
I had things to talk about, and you guys aren't talking about your own things.
Hey,
Well, we
I
didn't
was.
do
I was.
anything.
What do you mean we? Get me out of there! I was talking about Baki. Shut up.
Right, but
I'm
like we
talking
both
about
kind of
this
brought up
weekend,
Baki.
you Bingus.
We were
Charles,
all
like, so
in the
what'd you guys
same
do?
place this weekend.
Literally. So it's like anything, like not really, kind of just around.
Yeah, we put big fucking logs of wood next to your house and
Yeah.
nailed them in
Yep.
so that your property line doesn't leak onto your neighbors.
Yep.
Yep.
Just
Woo!
Yeah. Wow.
And your uncle almost fucking died because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then a friend of ours almost died.
3 times in the past 2 days.
Yeah. We should-
Whoa.
We should mention Cloud's not here because he's dealing with medical stuff. He didn't die. He's not dying, but there's someone who needs his help.
Oh.
So that's why he couldn't make it this one. I've already sent 2 rules that way. 1, get better. 2, don't die. You know, that's a good one. That's a good one I keep close to my heart. Is just don't die. I wake up in the morning, I tell myself that. And then I get out of bed.
Oh man. Now that ain't relatable. I get out of bed and tell myself to not die.
You just feel it, you know? Oh, did you
Yeah.
Travis, did you hear that they're remaking those last 3 Star Wars movies? Like they're getting rid of those and starting on a new set?
Oh, I've known about that for like the longest time.
Well, like they
Because
actually started.
I've been on like the forefront of like wanting this to happen.
Yeah,
All of us have.
I didn't know they had
hate,
started.
I hate with a burning passion that new trilogy.
Oh yeah.
It was
too,
so
buddy.
poorly written. I swear to God,
You know what
it
my
was so poorly written.
I don't think you and Brandon were in the room when my uncle said about what happened. Well, they're rewriting it, but he said, you know what? What they should have done is when Finn picked up that lightsaber, they should have just had his arm get chopped right the hell off. Because man has no clue what a lightsaber is, picks it up and starts swinging it around like he knows what he's doing. Nah, just leave that. Leave it.
They should have made him Mace Windu's unofficial child.
That would have been kind of neat.
They should have made him the official child.
See, I told him he should have been like Force sensitive or something. And he just goes, "Nah, man. He's going up against Kylo. Have his arm get cut off. Have him die right there. He's touching a lightsaber, going up against someone who's trained. Don't even." And I'm like, "You're right." And then he goes, "And then with her, she's
cut off that character's relevancy right then and there."
Yep. Just get rid of him.
No, what's that? You liked Finn? Fuck you.
Yeah. And then he also brought up the fact that Rey had like no training whatsoever.
Oh my god, I hate Rey Star Wars so much.
Dude, okay.
Literally.
One thing, and here's what I'm gonna, because people obviously we're not big enough, but when we do,
but nothing against the actress.
No, the actress she's a good actress. It's the writing.
Everything against the character.
Yeah,
right.
It's the
everything
writing.
Against the character, nothing against the actress. The actress did fine.
Mm-hmm.
The actress is all right. She hasn't done anything wrong.
What I thought was stupid is that somehow she's able to stand her ground against a formally trained, basically Jedi Knight that Luke trained, and she can stand her ground within the first 10 minutes of meeting the fool, and then doesn't get training until the last last movie in the set. And she only gets it in the very beginning portion. Did you watch Rise of Skywalker?
And I didn't like it.
Okay, the very beginning. Oh, I mean, a lot of people didn't. But in the very beginning, there's like a whole segment with Rey running through the woods, doing basically the similar training to what Luke did on Dagobah,
but a lot easier.
But a lot easier, and two, Leia's training her, and you get that's all you get. You get that short little like, oh, there's her training, and then somehow she managed to beat Palpatine. Because of plot armor. That's it.
I didn't even like Palpatine returning as a character. I like Palpatine. I love the actor who plays him.
Ian McDiarmid is cool.
I love the memes.
I didn't like. It felt unnecessary for him to return.
It was just somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Figure it out,
because you can, I guess. Right? Yeah, because you can.
The only way that you can really feasibly explain would be the whole Darth Maul thing, but to me,
right, was that he was literally too angry to die.
But see, my problem with that is the man blew up in an incinerator. Like the Death Star exploded. There should be no pieces of him left.
He fell like into a bunch of plasma lightning, which it flashed and like disintegrated him, which we saw, and then the whole fucking thing exploded. There's no possible way he survived unless he just instant transmissioned out of there, or like
you hear the Goku noise of him disappearing,
like a duct, like Luke Skywalker did at Empire.
See. Now I could understand a clone of Palpatine because that would make sense for him to plan ahead of time if something happened like that.
That's what I thought Snoke was gonna be. Was just gonna be like a clone of him that was like kind of retardedly put together.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, that Snoke would have been pretty cool, like just as a villain. But he gets killed in basically the first movie. You see his full form. And then with Palpatine showing up, I could have believed that there would have been a clone of Palpatine that went out and actually had a daughter. That kind of makes sense. If Palpatine wanted to continue his legacy but didn't want to leave the seat of the Empire to anybody else but his own hands because he's power hungry, that would make sense.
Just thinking about the Chancellor like ordering a prostitute into his
room. I'm about to say that.
Dance. Do
Palpatine
it. Do it. Shake.
Do it. Yes, do
it. Take my credits. He's like throwing them. They're just like clinking on the floor in front of him. But like, I think it would have just been better.
I feel like if Palpatine really wanted to make a fucking daughter of himself, he would just fucking
grow
it out of like dark magic, the way he did.
Like he did Anakin. Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't he just do some shit like that again if he's done it before?
I don't got the time for this shit.
If he's done it before and found out that it clearly works, even if he killed his fucking master that he did it with, like, he still knows how to do it. It probably
he still
doesn't require two people.
No, I guess if you're strong enough, it probably doesn't.
It was him and Plagueis together.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
But like, he literally kills Plagueis like a week before Order 66. You don't find that out in the book or the movies either. You find it out in the books.
Have I told you about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yeah, when he tells that story to Anakin, it's like
It
right
happened like
after he
2
killed
days
him.
ago, yeah.
It's like right after he killed him.
He's covered in blood. It happened 2 hours ago, and he's sitting in this little seat
It's-
going to Anakin
It's
like,
literally, yeah, like
have I
literally
told-
when
have
he's
I told
telling
you?
him
Funny story.
about Plagueis, it's like so recent. I wish it would have showed
That's why he was
Plagueis
able
at
to go in
least.
so much detail.
he
Because
just,
he remembered it.
he,
still.
yeah, he remember. It was vivid memory. It happened the night before. He was, he woke up and he's like, today's the day. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill him. Murders the fool. Goes and talks to
I'm
Anakin.
surprised Plagueis was like around for
Yeah, right.
until he was an old man. Like I would have thought that in Sheev's fucking like lifetime, he would have killed that asshole like 25 years ago.
I would have thought
He
so
wouldn't
too.
have waited until he was an old man.
He died literally. Okay, so 32 years before A New Hope happens is when he died. So if I'm not mistaken,
Which is also pretty close to Order 66. No,
no,
no, it's not.
it's 13 years
Wait, so
before
how-
the Empire. So it's 13 years before 3.
So it doesn't happen right the fuck after. My brother lied to me. My brother's told me that he like read up on like all the fucking Star Wars books and he knows all this shit and he's full of shit.
Now, to be fair though, 13 years in Star Wars is almost nothing.
That's true.
Because, you know, that's like year 7,000 and
But
then like the Hut
that's
system.
still that's still like what I was thinking. Like I would have
Yeah.
thought that Palpatine would have killed Plagueis way the fuck earlier. But that also means that Palpatine must have killed Plagueis like right after they birthed Anakin, like Jesus Christ, through the Force. Just straight up Virgin Mary, baby, right into that woman on Tatooine.
Yep, and look, we're going to name him Anakin Master. Like, you know. Let's see here. There was a Jedi that survived named Farron Bar. What? What was this? Order 66.
You know what? I want to play The Force Unleashed on the Wii again, just to see how much worse it is compared to the Xbox version.
I felt that.
I
Well,
just want to play
dude,
The Force Unleashed again. Holy crap.
Dude, I feel the exact same way about Call of Duty Black Ops for the Wii, because the Wii was just not a strong console at all.
No, it was
So
not
the
meant
port,
for that.
the port from Xbox and PlayStation to Wii was terrible. I think the same exact thing happened to one of the Batman Arkham games. Like it got ported to the Wii, and it was like it was changed and weird and clunky.
See, I'm just trying to figure out how Darth Sidious survived. Like, I just want to know at this point. Like, how in the world did he survive?
Just somehow. That's all you get. Somehow. He survived somehow.
Trial of Ahsoka Tano? No. Death and
It's
fate.
because they couldn't think of a good fucking explanation for it. They couldn't. They cannot think of a single conceivable reason for why he would be back. How he would be back. They should have literally just invented a new villain. That would have been
Yeah,
better.
a new canon. So at least just do something better.
Jesus.
Make something fresh, yeah.
Let's see here.
Like it could have been the whole philosophy of like,
Here we go,
like
cheating
if you killed
death.
Hitler, like his cousin who was way worse might have stepped into power or something.
Oh, here we go. Sending his consciousness towards a cloned body of his own creation, designed with Clone Wars era technology by the Sith Eternal.
Oh,
A
fuck
secret cult
you,
of
writers.
Sith loyalists who continue to follow the religious traditions of the Sith sought to resurrect their order. Sidious took his first
fuck
breath
you,
as he
writers.
jolted to a new awareness, but it was one of pain as he realized the vessel he had settled in was temporary. This was at Sidious's Sith citadel on Exegol, which he had planned and prepared to make his permanent seat of power during his reign as emperor. He took possession of the ancient throne of the Sith. Sidious, however, did not return unscathed. Because of his timely intervention, Sidious was able to prevent his demise, unlike his own master Plagueis. But while he was able to stave off death with cloning technology and concentration of dark side energy on the planet, immortality eluded the Dark Lord. Additionally, his new body was insufficient for containing his spirit due to his power in the dark side of the Force being so immense, and consequently began to decay. Let's see here. He was mobilized through the use of an Omnin harness, a mechanical spine once worn by Omnin, the ancient Sith king, and the decay of his body was slowed by vials of restorative fluid. Due to his immobility, he was unable to leave the planet and forced to live in exile for years, but when his body was broken, his mind was sharper than ever and his spirit unbound. And the fallen Emperor, over the ensuing decades, patiently plotted his return to power as Emperor and a Sith Lord, forging a sinister plan to take ultimate revenge on the Skywalker family. Okay, here's the thing, right? If his body is deteriorating so quickly, how much of that juice was he drinking?
He was drinking the jelly juice.
I think he was guzzling it the whole time.
Do you remember jelly juice?
Yeah, it's
Dr.
that weird
Phil?
freaking green stuff that the Asian lady was drinking.
It's like it's got like 4 times the recommended amount of sodium, like to where it could actually kill you.
That's
And
that's my grandma's serving.
It was supposed to like prevent tumors and cancer and sickness of all kinds and homosexuality.
Yep, you can stop. It's the stop being gay.
It was the stop being gay juice.
Yeah, that was.
What a fucking joke, jelly juice.
You can't stop me from
God,
being gay with just a drink.
I sincerely hope that woman is homeless on the side of Los Angeles, having to live amongst the human feces. Because that's honestly what she deserves for what she's been doing to people.
In 2018, she received a formal warning from the FTC because of...
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm looking her up. Let me see.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Books, the Jilly Juice Protocol, exposing the lies Canada did a weaponized fungus. Hold on. I thought it was like a bad...
James, come on.
No, it's like straight up toxic and bad for you. But
let me send you guys
trying to get people to drink
title.
a gallon a day.
Okay, I'm gonna copy paste this title.
I guarantee she's never touched an ounce of that shit in her life.
Look at that.
She makes it in a bathroom like a mad scientist, cooking up meth.
Go to podcast topics and tell me that's not a stupid title that makes you stutter.
The Jelly Juice Protocol, exposing the lies Candida weaponized fungus, mainstreaming mutancy, Jillian Mai Tai Epperly.
See? What? What if you could tap into your innate and adaptive immune system, reverse all cancer, disease, and chronic illness?
Yeah, dude, I don't... if you actually read the Jelly Juice pitch,
$10.
it's fucking incredible. It's incredible.
It's $10 on Google.
Produced?
It's all lies.
Sir.
Of course. It's $10 on Google, and it's $28 at thriftbooks.com.
No, I'm not gonna spend $28.
And she wants you to drink a gallon of it a day.
No.
So fucking kill
I'm
yourself.
just gonna read up real quick. Jilly Juice is a dangerous quack pseudo-medicine in the form of fermented drink that is falsely claimed by its proponents to be able to cure an assortment of conditions, including cancer and autism.
Yeah, she said cancer, autism, homosexuality, Down syndrome? I remember she said Down syndrome. She said Down syndrome too. That was going to physically give someone an extra chromosome.
Here, have your chromosome back.
Or the chromosome that they're missing.
You earned it, Chief.
You earned it.
With this powerful jelly juice, you will get 1 chromosome. But do not drink it for too long, or else you get too many chromosomes.
It's wholly ineffective at treating any ailment, can cause extreme dehydration, and potentially fatal hypernatremia.
In fact, it'll fucking kill you.
Hypernatremia is also salt intoxication, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can also lead to hypertension.
Sodium.
In 2018, the Federal Trade Commission warned that claims were made regarding to Jilly Juice in a letter that stated, "It is against the law to make health claims, whether directly or indirectly through advertising or other means, without adequate scientific support at the time the claims are made, or to exaggerate the benefits of products or services you are promoting." Dude,
her response to people like being skeptical to her jelly juice was like, "Fuck you."
That was the FTC.
Drink my juice,
the
bitch.
FTC wasn't going, "Man, look, this actually can kill you." They didn't even stop it. They just went, "You can't lie about your advertising, okay?" And then just left it at that.
Oh no, I meant like the people on Dr. Phil and shit. Like there was at one point where she thought that a dude was coming up on stage to like try her jelly juice, when in actuality he wanted to beat the shit out of her for saying the homosexuality thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to like get escorted off of Dr. Phil.
I like how
I'm serious. If you go watch that clip of Dr. Phil, this dude starts to run up to the stage, and Dr. Phil and Jilly both think that this guy wants like the jelly juice really bad, but he's actually coming up to the stage because he wants to berate her and yell at her for claiming such a thing, because that's absolutely insane to even say.
Here, in the summer of 2017, Bruce Wilmot, who was diagnosed with metastatic pancreatic cancer, began taking jelly juice. Wilmot's daughter Taylor described him as emancipated, and stated that he was drinking so much of it he was basically starving himself. It was all coming out as diarrhea. On July 20th, 2017, about a month after a month after he began drinking, Bruce Wilmot died.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Jilly, you fucking menace.
She responded to his death in a video that said...
You actually murdered someone.
She responded in a video that said, "Wilmot did not consume enough juice. He should have kept going."
I knew she was about to say that. I knew she was about to say he didn't drink enough.
And his medications, his consumption of pineapple juice, or the medical industry may have contributed to his death.
Damn it. I hate this woman so much.
She also wrote that she can't be held accountable for deaths resulting from her product, and that correlation does not mean causation.
How does that make sense?
Travis is trying his hardest not to break something right now.
And then I love that
I hate this woman.
Fuming steam out of the ear.
I hate this woman so much.
It gets so much
genuine hatred coursing through his veins.
You know what they have linked to her?
I think I hate this woman just about as much as I hate Mike Love.
Oh, don't worry. You know what they have linked to her? Do you guys know who James Morrison is?
No.
If you don't, it's a history thing. If you don't know, okay. James Morrison was a physician who all he did was he stepped out into the street in the 1800s and went, "Take this laxative; it'll cure everything." That's it.
Yeah, a literal snake. Yeah. Jilly is a fucking snake oil salesman.
But
she is just 1,001 ailments in the snake oil. Try my jelly juice.
She is. They have. Oh my god. Sorry, I just. I looked at.
Homie. Spit it out.
I sent it to you. It's a dude, and he's got like trees growing out of him. He's got no legs. One foot's broccoli. Somehow.
Is this what happens when you don't drink enough jelly juice?
No, that's what happens when you overdose on James Morrison's laxatives. That's what it says. It's colorized. Circa 1831.
The fact that it isn't even a meme, you're just actually being legit.
I am. Here's
Yeah, bro, do you want to grow weed out of your fingers?
Here's the
Boy,
words.
I have a job for you.
I love that they linked jelly juice to this dude who was like, "Here, take my laxatives. You'll definitely cure everything you have."
Now, you know what? I'm sure this is like, this is probably most definitely like a classic case of whoever drew this has not physically seen somebody who was ailed by this guy's laxative, but heard a description and drew whatever the fuck he was described to him. Like, you know how like ancient drawings of like camels and giraffes and stuff are like weird?
Yeah.
It's and like they look like animals that don't exist on this earth. It's because people back then didn't have a search engine to look shit up and see what it looked like.
Listen
or
to
like
this.
a library of books that were just ready to show you what that animal looked like. All they had were descriptions in books and by people, so they just drew what was described to them, and it looks nothing like the real animal.
So here,
That's what that is.
So let me read this before we leave, just because he was born in 1770, all that. After 35 years of inexpressible suffering and experimenting with every imaginable course of medical treatment, he accomplished his own extraordinary cure at about 1822 by the simple extent of swallowing a few of his vegetable pills at bedtime and a glass of lemonade in the morning. His success led him to set up in 1825 as the vendor of what he called vegetable universal medicines, commonly known as Morrison's pills. They soon became highly popular, especially in the west of England. In 1828, he opened up an establishment for their sale in Hamilton Place, New Road, London, which he dignified with the title of the British College of Health. And then he decided that he believed bad blood was the cause of all diseases and that getting purged from vegetable laxatives was the only cure. And he paid...
People back then were on actual crack, I swear to God.
The profits from the sale of his medicines in France alone were sufficient to cover his expenditure. From 1830 to 1840, he paid £60,000 to the British government for medicine stamps. In 1836, his business received heavy criticism as an apothecary, Robert Selman, was indicated for the manslaughter of John Mackenzie by administering large quantities of his pills. Later, in 1840, he died. That's it. That's all you get with this man. He spent 20 years selling
arrested.
The man spent 20 years selling these vegetable laxatives, and then he got under fire because some dude fed somebody else a giant amount of laxatives to some other guy, got him killed, and then he noped out the next 4 years.
I want to start taking jelly juice and then send my diarrhea from that jelly juice in the mail to Jilly.
Oh, sludge.
And just with a note that says, "This is what you did to me. This is what you're doing to people."
Are you gonna write in the diarrhea as well on the paper? This is what you did to me.
I'm gonna put like a little explosive so it blows up.
like a porch pirate bomb.
Yes.
Diarrhea at its finest.
It's gonna go into her mouth. It's gonna be the best.
Contracts HIV. Just dies.
I don't know how she get HIV when I currently don't have HIV.
I don't know.
Like we said, I don't currently.
It's a bucket list item.
Traveled up.
Well, I mean, that's just to say that nothing might not happen in the
Compete in
future.
a hot dog eating contest. Contracting HIV.
Being a homosexual.
Contracting monkeypox.
Just gotta check one off the bucket list every now and again. You know the deal.
Severe diseases
You
are
never
on the
know.
bucket
I might
list.
get AIDS.
It's good to keep your hopes high, you know. It's a might.
But I would say like within like the next 20 years, we'll probably have like an AIDS pill. Don't we already have that?
We have something that like kills the symptoms, like heavily.
Oh, it kills the symptoms, but doesn't stop it from killing you?
No, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna stop it from killing you, but it definitely prolongs the amount of time it's going to take to kill you.
It only kills you eventually because it like kills your immune system, and then you get killed by something else.
Yeah, what the pill does, I believe, that they came out with is it extends that sort of time. So instead of you dying around the normal time, it's gonna take longer. So it's extending your life basically if you have it.
You want to live longer? Take elderberry. Take elderberry till 2 in the morning.
Friend, take my elderberries. You will
with
enjoy.
A glass of hoggart.
Okay, with the famous words of hoggart. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, download on Spotify. We need more people watching that, so I can do host-read ads, so you guys can hear ads from me, just saying random crap. We'll be paid to do it.
Sponsored by yourself, SMH my head, dog.
We should write jingles for our ads. That might make people want to listen to our ads if we like wrote them into jingles.
That might make people want to listen to us. Okay, I got it out. There we go. It's out. Bye.